Kevin, this wasn't your first playoff experience, but just being in the league for as long as you have at this point, how can a team take the series that you guys just went through and apply it to the future towards taking that next step?
Yeah, you take a lot, obviously. Our first taste of it. I think even next year, motivation, seeing what it took to get to this point and how hard we had to play all year, how good of a year it felt like we had to put ourselves in a position to be in this series and playing a Game 7 at home is a big thing I think we can take away going into next season, trying to be better. Obviously, you want to improve every year, and next year it's finding a way to win a playoff series, hopefully a couple, and it will take a lot. I think it's just how hard it was to get to this point, and just knowing we have to do it again.
Kevin, what was the environment of this group like for you to be a part of, and how important is it to just have that chemistry on a team?
Yeah, it was really enjoyable, honestly. For me, I think this was the most fun I've had to this point in my professional career, playing on a team, and just the camaraderie we had, the way we played the game, the unselfishness that we played with, how connected we always were, and that that started from the top. That started with Mike. That started with Monty, and it trickled down to the leaders we had on our team, and HB, Domas, Fox. Just a really good group, a group I really enjoyed playing with.
Kev, for you, what was the your favorite moment this year? I know there's a lot of great moments, especially the game winner, All-Star game weekend. Just want to know, pick your brain on that.
There's a lot, obviously. I'd say I think a moment I'll never forget was Game 1 running onto the court in this building. That was electric. It really was. It was like something you're running on and you're getting chills running down your spine. You got, there's such a build up for it, and you hear about the drought, you hear about how crazy it's gonna be, and everybody talks it up like, hey, Sac fans are gonna come show out, and like it really was. Like we ran out of the tunnel, it was mobbed, and we ran on the court, and there was 18,000 whatever people standing up like ready to go, and we ran out, and that was like literally run on the court getting the chills. And so I think that's a feeling I'll never forget. And you got used to it, Game 2 and 5 and 7, whatever, where they were doing the same thing. But I think just the first time feeling that energy, and everybody brought it, just like everybody said they would.
Kevin, well, you've been here for almost a year. Got a radio show, a weekly radio show, doppelgangers, running around here emulating you. I thought I'd bring that up. Just wanted to get your overall experience being here, because you always talk highly of the fans and the community here. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, everyone here is just so invested in the Kings. That's the first thing you feel when you get here. There's no other teams you're competing for attention. Like, you go out in public and everybody's a Kings fan. Everybody's following the Kings. It really is. It's a great fan base. Since I got here, I think the excitement for this team coming to this year was extremely high. And we get people to cheer for, all year long, and everybody stuck with us. And, the wigs came out, we had the Band-Aid going on, obviously the radio show. It's just, I think our team just interacting, being with the community, the people that obviously follow us and cover us, I think is huge. And it was a lot of fun, everybody just being with us all year.
Kevin, you struggled in the playoffs a little bit here, but what do you do to flush that out of your system, and what is your plan for this summer to get ready and bring something different next season?
Yeah, it was, for the most part, I think a year I felt really good about. Definitely a sour ending to the end of it. Probably for everyone, just such a build-up. Looking forward to playing in the playoffs again, and individually not going how I would have envisioned it. But it's motivation moving forward. It's in a lot of ways it's learning, seeing how teams when we get to this point are going to guard us and things are going to try to take away, and the different areas of my game that I'm going to have to go to with this group and continue to build. And the way my role is on this team is continue to get better in my role, and I think that's kind of going to be a big focus for me this summer is being in really good shape. I think going next year, I think my movement within our offense is you got to be in really good shape, and this series showed it. The way that I think both teams played up and down and the pace we play at, and I'm not going to speak for Mike, but I would assume we're probably going to play similar next year, getting up and down the court for 82 games, and it's just being in really good shape, working on my body continuously, trying to build every year. And then obviously with your game, there's not one specific thing I always go into in off-season trying to work on. It's just trying to build an all-around game. For me, continue to get better inside the three-point line, continuously being a more consistent shooter from the outside. But those are all things I think I've worked on every offseason so far.
Kevin, when we were talking with you when you first got traded in Vegas, and this was all brand new head coach, new core with you and Malik, and also unknown, how excited are you now compared to when you first got here about knowing what you can do and knowing that the core of this team is going to be together again next year?
Yeah, you hope. It's, every year doesn't look the same. It was a really good group. We were blessed. We had really good health this year for the most part. Guys were on the court, and we got a lot of minutes together, and it's a thing you hopefully can carry over and go into next year, but I hope everybody's back. Like I said, for me, it was a really fun year, enjoyable group. I love being around, this team, and we had a lot of success on the court. It was a really fun system to play in, and I definitely hope everybody's back.
Kevin, we've heard a couple guys tell us today that this kind of feels like a home to them. Mostly guys who are just here for this year. I know you had a great time in Atlanta, and they really embraced you as well. But do you kind of get that sense too about Sacramento and some of the things you've already talked about in terms of the way you get embraced by the fans, the way they support this team? Does that kind of play into maybe some of your feelings about the city and the organization?
It does. It's you can feel like it. The Kings mean so much to the city. You can feel it, and that's just it's different in other cities. It's in Atlanta. There's a lot of teams that are competing for attention. There's Braves fans. There's Falcon fans. There's Georgia football. There's the Hawks, and there's a great fan base in Atlanta. It's just different when we're here, and it's like I said, everybody is a Kings fan. Everybody follows it. So it is a different feel. They embrace you, they bring you in, makes you feel part of something. And I think that can be tough to find, especially in the professional sports, is finding that and finding a place that you can call home and a fan base that embraces you and loves you and wants you to be here. So the city is always, for me, in my first year experiencing that, that's kind of something that I took away from is, like I said, how much this team means to the city. And so, like I said, I enjoyed my time here so far and continuing, looking forward to the future.
Kevin, I don't remember exactly what you said early in the season, but it was something along the lines of your NBA career doesn't start until you're traded or something along those lines. To come to Sacramento where not only you're wanted, but you're really needed with how they want to play. I'm just curious or what point did you recognize that you were going to have a bigger role here, and did that excite you at all, or what excited you about what you were needed to do here?
Yeah, it was. I think training camp, the way I saw our offense coming together. It's tough in the summer. You're playing a lot of pickup, and there's a lot of bodies in the gym. But I think once we got in, we started practicing and going through the things we're going to try to do this year was my level of excitement tuned up, getting to play with Domas, getting to play off of him, the tension that obviously Fox brings, stuff I've talked about all year, just being a piece to the puzzle. And I think our team has been put together really well. I think a lot of our pieces complement each other, and my job is obviously to be aggressive and be really good in my role. And I think, what I can do can help everybody else out, just like, the way Domas plays and the way Malik plays, everybody is able to just kind of, play off each other. And so that's kind of how I see it here, just being really good, piece to this puzzle.